Welcome back into our Morning Moments with Jesus devotion time today on our Life in Focus podcast. We're looking in James chapter 1 this morning, and God comes to us with a really interesting question this morning, and that is this. Is there a difference between what you're doing with your life right now and what you would love to be doing with your life right now? Is there a difference between what you're doing and what you would really love to be doing? And sometimes we get caught up in life and we get caught up in responsibilities, and we're praying that God would give us the faith and the strength and the time and all of these things to pursue our passion or pursue what you've always wanted to do in life. But then there's this other side of you that just keeps holding on to the same thing each and every day, maybe because of fear, maybe because of overwhelming responsibilities. But there's a difference between what you're doing with your life and what you would love to be doing with your life. And that's the case in James is writing in James chapter 1. I want to pick it up in verse number 5, and I want you to listen very carefully to this. Because if any of you lack wisdom, he says, then let him ask of God, that gives to all men liberally, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, not wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. Now listen to verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This morning God's talking to us about being double-minded. The double-minded comes in the fact that we want to pursue these things in our lives. We want to do things. We're even asking God to give us the wisdom and the discernment and the strength and the energy and even the finances to be able to do it. And even as He begins to give you all of those things, still there is this other part of your mind that just wants to stay in that comfort zone. You want to stay where you are. There is a difference between where you want to be and where you really are. And the difference between getting to where you really want to be really determines in the part where you're praying to God. God gives you the answer, but then the action has to take place. And the Bible says the effectual fervent prayers of a righteous person avails much. That's an action prayer. In other words, we can't just sit back and say, God, bring it to me. Sometimes we've got to get up and do our part in making those dreams and those passions and those things that we really want to do in life come true. He said, when you ask for wisdom, in verse 6, he says, you must ask in faith, not ask in fear, not ask in doubt, not asking thinking maybe someday you'll get around to it. If you're asking God for it and He delivers it, there is your window of opportunity to do that. And do not waver, because you'll be tossed around and back and forth with your thinking. Figure out what you want to do and go and pursue that if it be God's will. You know, plans are great. Writing down things on paper, I've done that for years, and I can testify greatly this morning that just putting things down on paper isn't a plan. The plan comes when the plan is activated and put into action. That's when things begin to happen. So this morning, we're going to pray against being double-minded. Faith and fear trying to work together. Pursuing something and then staying in place at the same time. They don't work together. So you that are driving down the road right now this morning, and you're going to a job that you really don't want to go to. You'd rather be starting your own business, or there's something you want to pursue that would bring you great joy in your life. I'm praying for you this morning. Maybe you're sitting in your favorite chair drinking your cup of coffee and saying, you know what, my life is at a point right now where if I don't get to doing what I've always wanted to do and I've always felt like God wanted me to do, I may never get to it. I'm praying for you this morning. Maybe you're sitting already at work and you're looking at a computer screen that you've been looking at for years. And you're saying to yourself, I need to move on what God has always wanted me to do. I wanted to start my own business doing the very thing I'm doing for the other person. I'm praying for you this morning. Whatever your situation is, wherever you are this morning, I want you to know I'm praying for you this morning, that you will stand up against the double-minded impact that holds so many people in place. And so many people leave this earth without truly realizing and pursuing their purpose. I don't want that to be you today. So I'm praying for you today. I'm praying over right now your heart, your mind, and your soul. And I pray that God give you not only wisdom and discernment and strength and the finances, but He also gives you the determination and the desire, supporting cast around you, to make those dreams come true, to put those plans in action. So you be safe, you be strong, and you always be blessed. Keep your life in focus by making a plan, saying, God, I know this is what you've been burning in my heart for years, and I'm going to go and pursue it, and then make it happen. Lord's will, we'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, always try to spend your morning moments with Jesus, and you have a great and wonderful day.